That's Luke.
Hey everybody, my name's Mark. Welcome to Mile High Church. Thank you so much for spending a part of your weekend with us, especially if you're new. Our vision, Oneness Revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. Before we get started today, we wanted to give you a look at a few things coming up for you and your family around Mile High Church. First Steps, Healing Through a Recent Loss, is a 2-day workshop facilitated by the bereavement team starting Friday, January 30th. This is for those who have recently experienced a deep loss. Explore the process of mourning, the depth and manifestation of grief, and rituals to help nurture your spirit. And it's last call for winter classes. Get that sweet 50% discount on select classes. Make friends and deepen spiritually with one of your favorite ministers. Who's my favorite minister? I'll never tell.
So this year at Mile High, community is one of our initiatives and our focus. And so I want to invite you to our upcoming Interfaith Seder honoring Tu B'Shvat.
And I'm so excited to weave live music throughout this sacred gathering.
You know, this beautiful Seder will be facilitated by Rabbi Jamie Arnold, and it brings us together in community for a fun-filled, soulful night of blessings, music, and interfaith inspiration.
Through song, readings, and ritual, we'll plant seeds of growth and awareness in our daily lives.
We also are going to have this amazing meal with fruits native to the Holy Land.
We can't wait to share it with you.
See you there.
For more information on anything you've heard today, stop by the Events Center or connect with us online at milehighchurch.org.
Well, good morning, Mile High Church family. We're just going to sing ourselves into a greater embodiment of gratitude. I see you dancers up there. Don't be shy. Let's sing together. Here we go.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing.
Let's sing that one again.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. This glorious, this glorious, this glorious life. This glorious, this glorious, this glorious. Oh, thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Thank you, Laura Berman, Stephanie Chang, Mile High Band. So grateful for them today. Welcome to our Teal Sanctuary, everyone who's here. Greetings to everyone watching online. Anyone in the sanctuary turning 95 years old today? Yeah. Anybody? I think right there, our beloved Betty Lucetta, 95 years young today. If you want to know anything about our teaching, you can read a book or you can get to know Betty because she lives it and embodies it in so many ways. Happy birthday, dear one. We love you so much and celebrate you and your family this morning. trying to think of the perfect metaphor for life this morning. Life is like winning the big game and then breaking your ankle. We're at Mile High Church, but our state religion here is the Denver Broncos. And so we acknowledge that life sometimes is filled with these great, exhilarating highs, and then these challenges occur. And the key to this teaching is to never separate the challenge from your wholeness. Always remember the truth of who you are. Always remember that even your challenges are part of the story of your success, and keep going no matter what. It's true for the Bills, too. We have a vision and mission we love to recite here at Mile High Church. If you're new, it's coming up on the screens. If you want to say it along with me, it goes like this. Our vision: oneness revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission: to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. In honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, always important to say Jr. because there was a Martin Luther King Sr. I'm going to share a reading as we move into our spiritual practice, but many people are joining our diversity and belonging team who are marching at the parade tomorrow. And at noon, just in our chapel, just a little thing, we're going to play one of the last sermons he ever delivered called The Drum Major Instinct. I actually think it's the greatest sermon I've ever heard in my life. So if you're free at noon tomorrow, come by. I'll be there. But just invite us to get centered here in this place as we move into this time of celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. and especially what he taught and what he held for us. A vision of humanity in wholeness, in unity, and oneness. And I don't know about you, but our country needs that vision right here and right now. Yeah. Each of us lives in two realms, the within and the without. The within of our lives is somehow found in the realm of ends, the without in the realm of means. The within of our lives, the bottom, that realm of spiritual ends expressed in art, literature, morals, and religion for which at best we live. The without of our lives is that realm of instrumentalities, techniques, mechanisms by which we live. Now, the great temptation of life and the great tragedy of life is that so often we allow the without of our lives to absorb the within of our lives. The great tragedy of life is that too often we allow the means by which we live to outdistance the ends for which we live.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the rush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence God is in this place.
So in this moment, we breathe, we surrender, and we let go. To simply bask in the presence of the One. As we breathe together this morning, we gather together under the tree of life to commune, to connect, and to open our hearts with the awareness of the eternal love. And just feeling and knowing the power of Spirit is right here where we are, beating through each one of our hearts. We let go and we allow. For I know that each one of us is an instrument of peace. And so we connect with that vibration, that reverence, that resonance of peace right now, knowing that it is so needed in our world. And in our connection, we share peace. Through the very vibration of our awareness, we radiate peace, and we send it out this morning to those corners of the world that so need it in this moment. To our brothers and sisters in Minneapolis, wrapping that entire city with love, with grace. We send it out to those who are suffering this morning, knowing that God is right where they are. And so we breathe in and we breathe out peace. And in that recognition of peace this morning, I know that our roots run deep in connection with our beloved planet. And in that connection, we share. And so what I know is that in our time together this morning, this peace reverberates out in our community, reverberates out in our own lives, as we honor those who have walked before us and have risen up in honor of peace and standing for and together in peace. So it is with such gratitude I feel and know that all that we experience in our service and through these beautiful teachings of this thing called you are for the benefit of all sentient beings. And so I give thanks for that. And I release this prayer into that alchemy of love that is the law in action, and I allow it to be. And so it is. Amen.
When I look in your eyes, I see the beloved. I see the beloved looking back at me. When I stand next to you, I can feel the beloved in you. When I look in your eyes, I see the beloved. I see the beloved looking back at me. When I stand next to you, I can feel the beloved in you. You are my soul, you are my inspiration. With you in my heart, I am never alone. We are one. There is no separation. When I rest in you, I am home. When I touch your heart, I feel the beloved touching me. When I open my heart, I open to the beloved in you. to the beloved in you. Beloved in you. Well, it's the beloved in me. We are one as beloved, beloved.
A reading from Ernest Holmes, This Thing Called You. My affairs are in the keeping of infinite wisdom. I am guided by divine intelligence. The activity of spirit inspires my mind and flows through my actions. Life lies open to me, rich, full, and abundant. And now we move into a meditation on these words. It is important that you maintain a strict censorship over your thinking. Just as you watch your garden, that foreign seeds shall not fall into it, producing a growth of undesirable plants, so you must refuse entrance to any thoughts you do not wish to see manifested in your life. Guard well this garden of your mind. It is God's garden of your soul. It is your garden of Eden, wherein may grow your fondest desires and hopes, blossoming into fulfillment. Or, if you permit, the weeds of destruction, fear and doubt will choke out the beauty of hope until despair alone remains. Watch carefully then this garden of your soul. Plant there only seeds of happiness, of joy, of peace, and of goodwill. It may be necessary to cultivate your garden, to uproot the weeds and straighten out the rows, planting new seeds, new ideas, broader visions, and deeper realizations of life. New aspirations must be bedded here, fertilized with the fervor of hope, the conviction of faith, the beauty of wholeness, and the quietness of peace. Watch your garden carefully. Guard it patiently, waiting for the new harvest, for you shall reap what you have sown. Plant love in your garden. Kindness and sympathy flow from the heart of love, and human goodness follows divine realization at every turn in life's road. Kindness and understanding are divine flames lighted from the altar of love, upon which burns the light eternal. Go often into your garden, sitting under the tree of life in cool, quiet communion. You will find fresh inspiration. God will go forth into creation through you.
Look at the ivy on the old clinging wall. Look at the flowers and the green grass so tall.
It's just the hour on the wings of a dove. It's just a warm love, warm love, warm love. It's ever present everywhere. It's ever present everywhere. Warm love, yeah. It's ever present everywhere. It's ever present everywhere. Warm love, warm love. The sky is crying and it's time to go home. And we shall hurry to the car from the phone. Oh, sit by the fire and dry our wet clothes. It's raining outside from the skies up above. It's a warm love, warm love, warm love. Oh, it's ever present everywhere. It's ever present everywhere. Warm love. Oh, can you sing that with us? It's ever present everywhere. It's ever present everywhere. It's ever present everywhere. Warm love. Warm love is everywhere. It's ever present everywhere. It's ever present everywhere. Warm love. Warm love is everywhere. It's ever present everywhere. It's ever present everywhere. Warm love. Warm love. Warm love.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Luke. You know, when you can take a Van Morrison song and turn it into a worship song like that, it just, be still my heart. I love it. Great to see everyone this morning, or great to be seen, folks watching us online. We're continuing our Back to Basics series, which we do all through Sundays in January. We're using a book, This Thing Called You, which is my favorite Ernest Holmes book. And if you're new to Mile High, we want to give you a copy. You just go to our welcome center. They're not going to do anything weird to you. They're going to ask you so many questions. They're going to forget to tell you about the church just because they're going to want to get to know you. And they'll give you a coupon, and then you go to the bookstore and get it. And you won't regret it. It's a beautiful book. And I've enjoyed every Sunday this month taking some time to introduce or reintroduce you to some different aspects of our ministry. And what I want you to know this morning is as important as what we do in this sanctuary on Sunday mornings is, it is not as important as what goes on in the Vote building and in our middle school and high school high ground with our youth ministry. We are so blessed to have Stacy Butters as our youth director, and it's her job to work with all of us volunteers and with Solva's help as well to create environments where kids get to learn the truth of who they are, they get to learn interfaith values and principles, and they learn to live courageous lives and the power of their minds and their choices. And so thank you. And that being said, I know the minister tries to explain everything. Will you tell us, Stacy, a little bit about our youth ministry?
All right, well, I'm going to put you to work.
My fault.
All right, I'm putting Josh to work this morning. So I am going to invite you into our youth experience, and you're going to show up here, and you're going to be in a cultivated space that is dedicated just for that age group here on campus. And you're going to meet some teachers and volunteers and caregivers who give with their whole heart. They have been trained, they have been screened. We have so many processes in place here at Mile High to make sure that the experience of our children is held with the highest safety and the highest regard. So now you're in there and you're going to be having this experience. And as Josh said, we pull from a lot of lessons about self, and we pull from lessons about connection, and we especially pull from lessons about spirit. And we have also been doing this thing called You here in January. So you're going to be hanging out, and we're going to be getting out some water, and we're going to have our vessel full of water, and then we're going to have a smaller glass that we're actually going to drop down inside of that water. We're going to talk about how that water is the incredible energy, life with a capital L, loving thing that we call spirit, and how you can be full of spirit like this small glass, but then also everything is spirit like this whole container. All right? And then I'm going to hand you a bucket full of buttons and some ribbon. And you're going to get to choose whatever buttons you want to put on that ribbon. And all of the buttons are going to be different. You can put them on there however you like. And at the end of this activity, we're going to talk about how that ribbon that runs through the center of all those buttons, even though every button might look different, every button might show up differently, that ribbon is indeed spirit running through all of us. So that is just a taste. Thank you for letting me share with you. Thank you for letting me lead and do this incredible work with kids.
We're so grateful to you, Stacy. If you want to add an extra spiritual layer of service in your life, volunteer to assist in creating these environments for these incredible kids. It's amazing work. And see Stacy after service if you are interested in that. Thank you so much, Stacy.
Thank you. Thanks all.
One of the things I love about our religious science teaching is that we don't rush to give superficial or artificial answers to life's big questions. We have the spiritual courage and the faith sometimes to actually not know, but to stand and be open to greater truths. Take, for example, the question of the nature of God. Did God create the universe and then continues to interact through it all through time, like the great monotheistic religions teach us? Maybe. Did God create the universe, say he was going to go out and get some milk and never come back? That's what many of the founding fathers believed. Not the milk part, but the deism part. Or as many Eastern teachings give to us, is God the universe itself? Every rock, every flower, every individual. Or is it, as Ernest Holmes taught us, that God is the self-knowingness in each and every one of us? That we are all expressions of one light. And as this divine being knows itself in us, it evolves and expands. And as we know this self-knowingness in us, we grow and we evolve and expand. And as we come to know ourselves, we come to know the divine. And as we come to know the divine, we come to know ourselves. And this evolution is what Jesus called bringing the kingdom of heaven onto earth. Or maybe it's like Douglas Adams said, there is a theory of the universe that the moment you come to understand it, it immediately transforms into something incredibly bizarre and incomprehensible. There is another theory that says that this has already taken place. A sin for a religious scientist, one of them would be coming to a conclusion. We always want to keep an open mind to exploring the great ideas of life. What happens to me when I die? Heck if I know. But it's a sin to not explore it, because my exploration of that will affect, or lack thereof, how I experience my life every day. Is this thing called the law of attraction real? Does my thinking influence reality? Think and find out. Practice bringing intentionality to your thinking just for a week. Try it as an experiment and see what comes about. Do I have a destiny, a calling, a purpose? I'm not sure, but if I dedicate myself to being all that I can be in this life, the adventure that is provided by that courage will answer that question for me as well. Keep thinking, keep questioning, keep expanding. That's part of this adventure called life. Now, here at Mile High Church, there's an inherent problem that I'm aware of every week when I'm speaking before you, and that is that we are based on a distrust of ministers. This whole teaching came about because of a distrust of ministers. Ralph Waldo Emerson, who was a minister, looked at himself in the mirror and looked at other ministers of his time and said, these guys aren't bringing people closer to God. They're pulling God closer, further away. He called all of us, and using the American spirit, back into our own withinness. He would say in a little essay called Self-Reliance, "Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist." Always hard to share at new members class. "He who would gather immortal palms must not be hindered by the name of goodness, but must explore it if it be goodness. Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. Absolve you to yourself, and you shall have the suffrage of the world." Now, I don't know the story that brought you to Mile High Church, but I am guessing that for most of you, it's complicated. And I'm guessing that for most of you, there is a point where you heard something preached from someone like me, a preacher, an evangelist, and what they said offended your soul. Doesn't matter what religion they wore, but they said something that offended your soul and that wasn't true in your heart of hearts. If you like to be naked and lay in the grass every once in a while, you're a witch. If you love someone who's the same sex as you, there's something inherently wrong and sinful about you. If you are a child raised in India, taught the golden rule and all the best virtues of life, and yet you still worship a deity that resembles an elephant, you're going to go to hell. There is something inherently wrong with you that must be spiritually fixed. We are all born spiritually damaged. Even if you are the most precious little baby, so precious that the smell of your dirty diapers brings a tear to the eye because your life is so precious, there's still something inherently wrong with you that you need the church to fix. And part of us said no, this doesn't resonate with me. And perhaps like me, you made one or both of the following mistakes. The first is that although you dismissed what the pastor was saying, you still left them their authority. Instead of saying, God, you're representing God, you clearly know nothing about her. You allowed that individual to still speak for God, so much so that you may have distanced yourself from divinity and divine truth. And second, you may have done the mistake of recognizing that just because you leave the church doesn't mean you don't keep the worldview. When we don't think for ourselves, someone or something else thinks for us. So for many of us, the calling is to build that spiritual philosophy, finding it within first and then discovering it anywhere we can around us that helps us understand the truth in our experience about the nature of God, the nature of who we are as human beings, the nature of these beautiful children we've been talking about, the purpose of life. There is no greater blasphemy to God than the idea that you are unworthy. No greater blasphemy to the Spirit than to miss out on the truth of your precious, beautiful nature. There's a little anthem we have in New Thought. It's a song that was written by a woman named Libby Broderick in the late 1980s. I've been in this teaching since I was a teenager, and I've always found it kind of corny, even make fun of it from time to time. If you know me, you don't like You know I don't like cheese in any way, shape, or form. It's a little cheesy. And yet the message is so profound and important. So as my amends to making fun of the song, I'm going to sing it to you this morning because I want you to hear the message. And it goes like this. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. So that's the sweet part. Here's the challenge. If anyone is telling you that you're unworthy, it's you. We're grown-ups now. And if anyone is telling us that we are unworthy, it's through the filter of ourselves. We have to stop it. We have to realize that this teaching does not work unless we build the knowledge of ourselves enough to allow it to work through us. We cannot know the divine without knowing ourselves. And we cannot know ourselves without knowing the divine. They are intricately related. That self-knowing that's expanding itself in so many incredible and beautiful ways. How do we sum this teaching up? I'll give it a try. 4 truths. God is love. We are all one. Life is good. Do the best you can. God is love. We are all one. Life is good. Do the best you can. If you can remember the best you can to remember those first 3 truths, take them and seek to apply them in your life, you will have embodied and mastered this teaching. God is love. It doesn't mean that God just has a whole lot of affection for you, which I'm sure God does. What God is love means is that the creative impetus back of all creation is love. Love is the most powerful force in the universe, and all comes from love, and all in the end will return to love, and that love is balanced right here in the heart of our spirits and our souls and beingness. If you can get back to love, you've gotten back to the beginning of creation, and you can live rightly again. If you get stuck in not love, you don't know yourself and you don't know God. Love yourself back to love. Love yourself back to love. We are all one. We are all one. Each and every one of us is a manifestation of the light. How we reflect that light or deflect it is up to us. That is what we call uniqueness. In this thing called you, sorry it took me a little while to get around to it this morning, Ernest Holmes shares with us, this union, however, does not mean sameness. For while unity requires conformity to principles, unity never means uniformity. Every blade of grass, every crystal, every drop of water, like every individual, is a little different from any other one of its species. The great Joseph Campbell invited us to imagine ourselves in a lecture hall, in a place just like this, and to see that the hall is filled with light bulbs, just like the ones above us here. And he invites us to recognize that every bulb is different, but the light in each bulb is the same. What matters for each of us as individuals is the quality of our consciousness. That is what we're called to. Who am I in relationship with this light? How am I going to choose to reflect it, or am I going to spend the whole of my life running from it, not seeing it in myself and others? Quality of life is your quality of consciousness. And as we nurture our awareness of the light within, we begin to bring forth what is best and most precious and colorful and beautiful within us in this grand mosaic. Think how life would be different if everyone knew this light was within them and that the work of life was to bring it forth and radiate it. Not to hide it under a bushel, but to shine and be the beautiful, precious light that you are. Life is good. Life is good. We're the only religion I know that teaches this as a fundamental principle. Despite appearances, and sometimes even because challenges, the heart of this thing called life is good. There is nothing wrong with this world inherently. The cosmos is not broken. There is a powerful good in the universe at the heart of all life, and its nature and propulsion is to make things better and better and better. What happens? We mess it up. We get in the way. We struggle. But if we could remember this force for good and to be a presence for it in our lives, we can begin to overcome these obstacles. I know when we look at the world and at our country sometimes, it seems that these obstacles are insurmountable. You just want to give up. Don't give up. Remember that good and know that you can bring it forward in your life. Holmes wrote this thing called You in 1945, and at the same time, a little movie came out a year later called It's a Wonderful Life, and this quote makes me think of both of these things. Holmes says, "The greatest gift life could have made to you is yourself. You are a spontaneous, self-choosing center in life, in the great drama of being, the great joy of becoming, the certainty of eternal expansion. You could not ask for more, and more could not have been given." The gift of life is not given once. It's always right here in this moment. Receive the gift every day, and you will live at one with this good instead of seeing it as something ethereal or alien or absent from you or your life. All that being said, do the best you can. Do the best you can. Is there anything else you can do? No. Just do the best you can over and over. Are you going to fall it down? Yes. Are you going to win the game and break an ankle? Sometimes. Just keep on moving forward in awareness that God is love, that deeply we are one, that there is a good happening and wanting to take place in my life right now, over and over and over again. Reflecting on Dr. King this week, I'm reminded of his first great calling was to lead the Montgomery bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama. Rosa Parks had refused to go to the back of the bus, and a bus boycott was called for. And for 11 months, the majority of blacks in Montgomery, Alabama, refused to board the bus. And the reason they were able to do that is they created a rideshare and carpool program. So people didn't have to walk all the way to work, although some people did as a point of pride and protest. The mayor, finally wanting to end this boycott, made the decision that ride sharing was a kind of business. And if you wanted to continue it, you were going to have to get a business license. And guess who wasn't going to be granted a business license? So King and his representatives took them to court, and King knew they weren't going to be victorious. And he shares, "I felt so small before speaking to the weekly meeting." He spoke every week. These individuals had worked so hard, almost an entire year, boycotting this bus program that was needed in the community in order to stand up for civil rights, and I have to get up and tell them that it's about to be over. He did get up in front of those folks. He shared and told them the absolute truth, and he ended by saying, at this point, we can only trust that when there is no way, that God makes a way. That God is the only thing in presence that can make a way out of no way. See, that's this concept we have with doing the best you can. It actually calls us to give up control. Doesn't that feel good to give up control? A lot of us are like, no. I need control over every aspect of my life. Be the best you can is the principle of releasing control so something greater than even we can imagine can demonstrate itself. King's in court the next day. He's proud of his lawyers, how they're standing up for the law in the case. But there's a recess, and he knows that they're about to be ruled against. Just then, a journalist enters the room, and he has a note for Dr. King. The Supreme Court just announced segregation illegal in Montgomery, Alabama. A way was made out of no way. And I'm not trying to compare all of our lives to Dr. King's, but I invite you to know that if you're doing the best you can, which is all you can do, there is a power that will take care of the rest. We have to learn to give up control and to trust this power to reveal to us the highest and best in our lives. Sometimes it won't look like it. Sometimes it's going to be this broken ankle sucks, right? It sounds like it should be easy to live these 4 truths, but the unfortunate truth is we live under 4 illusions. Too many of us allow ourselves to live under 4 illusions. What are they? That God can hate, that we're all alone, that life sucks, and that you are unworthy. These are the 4 illusions. That God can hate, that you're all alone, that life sucks, and that you are unworthy. Anyone live under those illusions? And we need to use these 4 truths to overcome these illusions, to learn that God doesn't even know hate, that God can only love. God doesn't hate, we hate, and we are getting pretty damn good at it. God doesn't judge, we judge. God doesn't cast anyone into hell, we cast ourselves there. Holmes, in this thing called You, tells us if you want to stay out of hell, no one can ever be in it. It logically follows that if you want to be in heaven, no one can ever be outside of it. God doesn't hate. You are never alone. There are times in my life, difficult times, where I fall under the illusion that I am a separate, ghost-like being, disconnected from life and reality, that I will never be truly seen or known or understood. This identity that I experience is a construct. He is not real. The truth is that I am never alone. And as I learn not to disregard and abandon these so-called separated parts of myself, but to integrate them in, welcome him in, then I can experience that truth of life, that there's no such thing as alone, and that solitude is actually what reveals that truth for me. Now, life sucks is the trickiest one, because sometimes it does. And yet, when we isolate an experience of challenge, we are disconnecting ourselves from that greater truth. I'm not here to sugarcoat any challenge that we've experienced, the devastation of loss, the pain that we may see taking place in a loved one's life or in our communities or in our country. I'm not trying to sugarcoat any of that. But we are called to remember our wholeness, that the shadow of a broken heart is always a deep gratitude for living, that the shadow side of a deep challenge is the understanding and the embracing of the gladness of adventure. Challenging experiences suck. Yet when we call them in and remember our wholeness, we are given everything that we need to still live life in gratitude. No matter the difficulty, this is the spiritual courage in each of us. We can celebrate life no matter what? As I was saying before, there is no greater blasphemy than this idea that we are unworthy. I do not mean this from a standpoint of some sort of spiritual participation trophy. Proving our worthiness to ourselves for many of us may be a day after day practice. However, to reveal our wholeness to ourselves, to learn to love ourselves as a precious being and not into trying to be someone we're not, is to unlock the door to the meaning of ultimate reality, our spirit, and the truth of this life. To overcome our sense of unworthiness is not only to reveal our worth, but it is to become who we really are. Remember the 4 truths. Overcome the 4 illusions, and you will be practicing what Ernest Holmes meant by this thing called life and this thing called you. To end with a prayer from him, and I invite our practitioners to join me if they'd like in standing. They're like, we don't have the prayer, Josh, we can't read it. I know that the divine spirit is operating through me now. I know that I am not limited by anything that has happened or by anything that is now happening. I am entering into an entirely new set of conditions and circumstances. That which has no limit is flowing through my consciousness into action. I am guided by the same intelligence and inspired by the same imagination which scatters the moonbeams across the waves and holds the forces of nature in its grasp. So remembering in this prayer that God is love, and that God's love is the very foundation of our very identity and beingness. Restoring myself in this sacred truth, I know it reveals in my mind, in my body, in my life, and in my relationships. Remembering that we are one. We know that any experience in reality of divisiveness and separation is feeding off an illusion that only causes pain and suffering. May we remember that oneness, a courageous and bold oneness that can share it in any area of our life where separation appears to be the reality. Knowing that life is good, that there is a fundamental principle towards my liberty, my justice, my equality, my well-being. I align with this good and allow it to show up in my life. And I commit each day to renew and doing the best that I can. This means letting go of the day that was and embracing this moment that is right here and right now. We are in the right place, at the right time, in the right consciousness. So we call forth this divine love, this divine unity, this infinite goodness, and we allow it to take place in our lives right here and right now. Thank you, God. And so it is.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you that you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? And how deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected
Much better. Thank you very much. So we move into our time of offering. This is something we do every Sunday, and that's where the minister asks for money and says, thank you so much for financially supporting Mile High Church. We are so blessed to be given such abundance and to be able to invest that abundance you bring to us into the wonderful programming and services that we're able to create here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I also believe we have this offering time because one of our sacred beliefs about life is good is that we believe that abundance is possible for all. We believe in principles of prosperity and well-being, and I like to think that when we are all giving our offering together, we get to affirm abundance for Mile High Church, but we get to affirm our own abundance. We get to affirm the idea that as we give, we receive, and we also get to affirm abundance for all of our fellow community members in such a beautiful way. So you can know if you're struggling with prosperity, and we all do at times, that you are surrounded prayerfully by incredibly abundant people that are knowing the truth of who you are. All of that is encapsulated in a little offering affirmation we love to do each week. So you get to take your gift physically or metaphorically right now, and we all get to affirm the following together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
Take away my doubts, they only weigh me down. Hide all my don'ts and won't so they can't be found. Bottle up my fear and throw it into the sea. And if by chance one day it floats back to me, I'll just laugh out loud and say here and now, I do to a love that knows no reservation, and I do to a will that knows no hesitation, and I do to a choice with no expectation. No, I used to say don't, but now I do. I do. Well, yes, I do. Take away this life I thought was safe and sound, and loosen up these ties that only kept me bound. Shred all my limitations and all my beliefs. Let the confetti fall into the streets. This is my parade, yeah, my time to proclaim. I do to love that knows no reservation, and I do to a will that knows no hesitation, and I do to a choice with no expectation. No, I used to say don't, but now I do. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Stephanie Chang, Mile High Band. And welcome to Mile High Church. If you are with us for the first time today, I hope that you will come right out to that Welcome Center so that we can meet you, give you that coupon for a free book, and just welcome you right into the heart of our community. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, Zamira. I know my back is turned to you, but after you go to the Welcome Center, this is for everybody. Zamira created this incredible interfaith display for us over on the side of the sanctuary. Do check that out. I know it's evolving over time, but it's just so fantastic, and I'm just so grateful for the minister that you are here at Mile High Church and all the incredible things that you create for us. It's really fantastic.
The topic is divination, and it is divination through an interfaith and a new thought lens. So it will be unfolding, so I hope you'll check it out.
It's a beautiful spiritual buffet over there. Hey, people can still sign up for classes?
Yes, you can still sign up for classes this week. I know we started last week, but all the classes have been recorded. You can jump right in, and you won't have missed a thing. So you can go out, and there's an education table out in the lobby, and we hope to see you in one of our classes this week.
Thanks, Amira. Susan, you've been doing workshops for us every Sunday here. They're love donation only. Come in. Incredible stuff. What's the topic today?
Well, the topic is spiritual practices to empower our vision. Let me just say for a minute that we all have these wonderful little devices that allow us to tune in to whatever we want. They're designed to block out whatever we don't want. So you don't have Spanish station block into your sports podcast. Our consciousness does the same thing. We are on our path in life, and we get these insights, dreams, wishes, hopes for something more than we already have. What we've been working on is manifesting those, getting clarity, empowering them, and today we're going to talk about spiritual practices to empower them even more and to move them into action. So if you have a dream for 2026 that you'd like to move into action on, join us.
Very exciting, Susan. Thank you for leading these workshops for us. Tomorrow at noon in the chapel, the Drum Major Instinct. It was a sermon that Dr. King gave just a couple months before he was murdered, and is just as powerful and relevant today as it was back in the late 1960s. With that, if you'd like to stand, we'll say a benediction before we sing the peace song. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, my body, and all that I do. I give thanks for it, and I accept it, just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life.